Hello, and welcome to Sponge Stories, the podcast for face painters by face painters. I'm Siobhan, the face behind Theatrics Faces, and I'm on a mission to lift the lid on what it really takes to build a face painting business, the good, the messy, and everything in between. Each episode, I'll be chatting to artists, industry experts, and real working face painters about the things that we don't always talk about. Pricing struggles, burnout, confidence, boundaries, growth, and how to actually make this job work for your life. So whether you're painting your first full face or juggling a fully booked diary this year, you're in the right place. Let's get straight into today's episode. So hello and welcome to this week's episode of Sponge Stories. Today I have Beth with me from Brushed Beauties, which is her lovely face painting company based up in Northampton. So welcome, Beth.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
You're more than welcome. Thank you for coming on. I'm really excited because you reached out to me originally to chat about branding and sponsorship and sort of monetizing and marketing. And I just thought, oh my God, what a great angle for the podcast. So for anybody that hasn't come across your business before, can you tell us a little bit about you and your business, please?
Yeah. So I started Brushed Beauties 3 years ago. I started it because I didn't have a lot to do at the weekend. My husband, he's in a band and he would travel around the UK with it. And I was like, I want to do something fun. I don't just want to be a band wife. So, well, I wasn't a wife at the time. And we were saving for our wedding. So I was like, I'm going to start my own business doing face painting. And he thought that it was one of my ADHD things where I'd start it and not finish it, like colouring, crochet, anything else. And I did my first event and it was a beer festival. And I just fell in love with it. And after that, it's just continued and just got bigger. And yeah, I've come from a branding and design and marketing background, so that's kind of helped me, I think, as well, like keep it going. And obviously the money, why wouldn't
Yes.
you? You know, but the money you pour into it is needed as well. So yeah, that's a bit about me. I do mostly in Northamptonshire, but if my husband's going up to a really cool festival, I'll try and get in there as well. So then we're not like just passing ships in the night sometimes.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what did those early days look like? Did you do any training? Did you do any online training or go to any courses? And how did you get your first jobs? I was thinking about this the other day because I've just been to the London Jam, and I was
Yes.
like really nervous going to it. And it was absolutely fine. I knew it would be fine as soon as I got there. But I just thought, I had the same nerves that I did before my first ever job. And
Yeah.
it
I
was
think
just,
the
it was
jams
just,
are a bit like that, aren't they? You feel nervous because there's so
yeah.
many other creative, talented people around you, and you're like, "Oh God, what if I'm not good enough?"
Yeah, and
Mm.
it was absolutely brilliant. As soon as I was there, I knew it was like one of those like hurdles that you just have to get over. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was amazing when I was there. But it did bring back all those like really early day nerves of like, oh my God, first job. And I just thought, I'm going to ask the next person on the podcast about that.
Yeah. I come from like a creative background. I studied graphic design and studied illustration. And I did art and yeah, I've got a degree in it. And then my actual like day job, I guess, my like normal career is in marketing design, although it's all like digital. I was like, I can use this. I'm trained in it. So I've not done any official courses. But then I guess that stems into my like day job career. I work in marketing,
Mm,
but my degree is not in marketing and it's just off of what I've learned. So that's what I did. My first event was at a beer festival. I did 9 hours straight of painting, and my back
wow.
was shot, my feet were gone, and my mum helped me, and we were both like, "Blimey." That was like really intense, and I've learned so much since then. I look back at the photos, and I
Mm.
was like, I can't believe that I charged anyone for those designs, but people pay for it, you know. And I've learned since then, I guess, and it was so much fun that I just wanted to keep doing it. And then did my first birthday party after that, and that was even more nerve-wracking. Yeah, but I've continued, so it mustn't have been that bad.
So why do you think you found the birthday party more nerve-wracking? Was it because there's a slight pressure, I think, with birthday parties as well, isn't there? That like, I
Yeah.
suppose with a festival, you're just whipping through them. But with a birthday party, you want to make sure it's special.
Yeah, I think with the outdoor events, the ones where you're doing like a paper face and you're not necessarily paid to be there, because that was what my first one was. People can choose whether they want to come and get their faces done by you. And if they see someone's face and they go, oh, I don't think it's worth the money, they just won't queue up. Whereas if you've been hired for a birthday party, it's you've been paid to be there, you're paid to do a service, even though the level of service would be the same. I think there's more pressure on you. There's themes that people have asked for. You're under time constraints for the amount of people that you've got to do in that time as well. Whereas, if you're doing paper face, you can just shut shop when you want and when you're done. So yeah, it's just the birthday parties are still more pressure for me.
What's been one of your favourite jobs or events that you've ever worked at?
The Women's Rugby World Cup, that was my favourite one. Women in sport, it was a big one. It was
Is it
nerve-wracking. My brother came with me. He's a massive rugby fan. He's got friends who their sisters play in the Samoan team. So that was really cool meeting them. And I got to paint the Brazilian women's team as well. It's a picture of on my
Wow.
Instagram. I'm like nearly in tears, like, yeah, it's so cool. And it was in my hometown, which is like even cooler. It was at Franklin's
Yeah.
Gardens in Northampton. So, supporting local community, working with the council, working with England Women's Rugby, and then they won. So,
Wow.
yeah.
The atmosphere must have been insane.
Yeah, there was a big screen right next to where I was painting, and the games were played live, and you're just like almost in tears at how proud you are of like your country and other countries and women just doing it. So
Wow.
hopefully the men keep up in the World Cup.
Yeah. So on the flip side then, what would you say one of your most chaotic or funny or memorable face painting moments that you've ever had on a job?
So I was hired to do an adult shoot with
Wow.
a content creator who was on Instagram and TikTok, and it was an adult film version of a kids film. So it was about Wicked, but it
Mm.
wasn't. It was not child friendly, and the paint was from her toes to her hairline and everywhere in
Wow.
between. Yeah, there's a video of me on YouTube, just legs spread, colouring her green, and she was Elphaba. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really interesting. The loveliest people I've ever met and really interesting life stories.
Mm.
But yeah, I went home and all of my friends were like, "Why didn't you take me? I wanted to see." I was like, "I'm not sure you wanted to see that."
There's a lot of green paint needed.
It was a lot of green paint. Meron, that's what I used. Very good. Stayed on. No problems. Yeah. And I used some mixing fluid with it as well. It was like recommended that it stays
Oh
on
dear.
longer. And I was like, wow, it really does. Yeah.
So, well, there you go. Testament to the brand.
Yeah, well done, guys. Yeah, so that was definitely the most interesting and memorable one, and one that I can't post on social media. So
No,
no,
yeah, no,
I got sent the after video, the finished product, and the photos, and I was like, none of these are safe for work, so I can't do
no.
anything with them. So yeah,
There could just be your treasured memory.
yes, face only. Great. Yeah,
I'm gonna get the giggles now.
I know. I did all day when I was sat there. I was like, what do I look at? How do I shake hands with them? Do I give them a hug?
I'm blushing just hearing about it.
I
I would have
was.
been a
I was.
nightmare. But if
Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't have
And
known what
on
to do.
set, what made it even better was there was like an on-set cat that just was unfazed by the whole situation. And it just was like sat in my lap when I was waiting. And I was like, it's just you and me, bud. Yeah.
Yeah, well, what a surreal moment.
It was. It was. I feel like I've seen it all now.
Yeah,
What not worse, because it wasn't bad, but there's nothing gonna phase me now. So
no.
yeah.
So, yeah, like I said, I'm blushing. Well, you clearly understand branding really well because of your day job in marketing.
Yeah.
So, did you able to translate that into the face painting business quite easily then?
Yeah, I would say so. Early on, it was figuring out what I wanted my brand to be and who I wanted to cater to. And I think that my branding is very, very friendly for children. I know that there's some brands out there that they want to cater to like adults to get into corporate events and things like that. And I definitely do, and I have. But ultimately, I want to paint kids. Like, I love
Yeah.
being around children. I love offering that service and making them smile and seeing the smile at the end. Yeah, my personality is very like, I'm a bit of an emo at heart, so I wear black all the time. But I went for pink, and all of my branding is pink. I've got a little character, and she's in a like rainbow pink suit,
Wow.
and everything I take with me is pink because it's just so fun. It just like, yeah, brightens up my day, which is nice. Yeah, the branding, I think it's still something that I am figuring out now what I want it to be, but it's stuck. People definitely remember it, and I think that's something really important to not like to stick with your identity and stick with something that you love, and people will remember you.
There's a lot of face painters sort of struggle with that side of things and they'll focus purely on the face painting element, which is obviously incredibly important. But
Definitely.
branding can completely change how your business is perceived and attracts work. So, what do you think makes a brand feel professional and memorable?
I think the way that you post your photos, you don't necessarily have to put your branding on every single photo. I've tried that, I've not tried that. But I think when you have a certain style, your style is recognizable, your tone of voice as well, the way that you speak in your posts. So that will be like your language that you write your posts in. People will recognize it straight away. So I call people on my social media beauties. So I'll put, hey, beauties, things like that. I think it's
Oh,
recognizable. And the way that if you do your videos, maybe you could have your logo in it or something like that. And then what you wear as well. So if you can spend £12 on a t-shirt to get your logo on it and walk around that at events, or, you went to the London Jam, I probably would have worn this. And getting
mm,
a t-shirt branding on your case, a banner. You don't necessarily have to invest in like really expensive things, but a little banner, and just people will recognize you and they'll keep seeing you pop up, maybe a sign on your car or something like that, just wherever you can put it and do what you can afford as well. Yeah.
so with the consistent branding then across sort of like website, social media, printing stuff out, because I used for my case, I got, it's like a car vinyl sticker, and I used that because I couldn't really find what I wanted, and I just knew I wanted it because originally, my first case, I just, like, printed it out on sticker paper, and then that peeled off
Yeah.
about 2 days later, so that was
Yeah.
the first learning curve. What do you think has the biggest impact then? Which bit of the branding would you say could be most impactful?
Do you know what I think it is? I don't think it's anything printed or a website or your social media. I think it's yourself. I
Mm,
think it's how you show up to a job and your personality and the way that you leave a job and that customers recommend you from who you are and not what your brand is or what your name is or what your design said on the board. I think your most important branding is the way that you show up. And then after that, it's everything else. Yeah. That people
yeah.
remember who you are. I've walked past, I went to the cinema and someone went, that's that face paint lady. They didn't recognize remember my name. I don't
Yeah, yeah.
expect teenagers to remember, but they knew that I was the face painting lady. And I bet so many face painters get that where they walk somewhere and then go, that's the face painting lady. That's the face painting man.
That's her,
And
that's
yeah,
her.
you've probably had it where you haven't heard it and someone's walked past you and they go, she's painted my son or she's painted my daughter. And they
Yeah.
remember you because you were nice.
Yeah, and it is nice because they come up and they say, "Oh, do you remember me?" And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah."
I did.
And then you think, "Well, you look vaguely familiar, but I think you underestimate how many children see."
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
Exactly.
they definitely single you out and they remember you.
Yeah. So the way that you show up is the biggest branding tool that you've got, and that costs nothing.
So let's talk about your amazing branded gazebo, which is a major investment for most painters. So it's been on my radar. I've been umming and ahhing whether to get a big gazebo. I'm still in my first year. I'm coming up to my 1 year anniversary
Oh,
of the
nice.
business soon.
Congrats.
So thank you. I'm still sort of like, don't rush anything. I don't want to, in my head, I'm trying to decide what lane do I want to go down. And I'm still sort of like dabbling in different events and seeing which ones fit for me before I make the big gazebo purchase. Because
Mhm.
if I decide to just push birthday parties, then I don't need to be spending thousands on a gazebo through the business because it doesn't make business sense if I'm not doing festivals. But
Yeah.
if I do want to go down the festival route, then obviously you can't just get a cheapo one that's going to blow away in the first windy event. So that's a very long-winded way of saying you were quite inventive, I'd say, because I'd never considered this. And you had a local business sponsor your gazebo, which is a brilliant idea. So how did you sort of approach that, and what did you offer them in return?
Yeah. So I had worked in sponsorships before. I used to work for a racing team. So the drivers were able to race because they had sponsorships on their suits, on their helmets, on their cars. And from that, I was a bit like, well, why wouldn't someone sponsor a gazebo? We go to massive events and
Mm,
the exposure is really big, but it definitely needs a return on the investment. They need to know what we're going to. So I put together a sponsorship pack and it had different tiered sponsorships in it. Maybe it was like a side banner, it was the back wall, and it was something on the roof. And then I decided that it would just be a side banner on the wall because I wanted it obviously to be about my branding and not all
Mm.
of theirs. And I approached a local business with the idea and then told them the events that I go to. Some of them are like Premier League football clubs where there's 20,000 in attendance, or it could be a local community day where you're likely to see more come out of that because it's actually in the community that you're serving. So they saw it and saw the events that I go to and saw the proof was in the pudding. So they said yes. And it covered the whole cost of it, which was like 1,200 quid. And I would
Wow.
have bought one for myself because I do outdoor events a lot. And when I'm paid hourly, I do have a minimum to bring a gazebo because obviously it's so much more of a setup, isn't it?
Mm.
So it would have been worth it. But I thought, I'll just try my luck. I'm actually looking at getting a new one now. So I've reached out to a couple of businesses and a couple of businesses have reached out to me because I put a post out about it and they were interested. So, and they're just local, but I think that's more important than getting a countrywide big business to do it because
Yeah.
they're going to see less impact. Whereas a local business or a couple of local businesses will see more of an impact because you're serving that community that I'm going to.
So if a face painter listening thought that's a good idea, what would you recommend their first steps be? So you said about making a sponsorship pack, and then did you do cold emails or did you physically go into businesses to discuss? Or
What I would do is look at the events that you go to first to make sure that a gazebo is needed and it's going to be worth sponsoring because obviously it's a big investment for us if a small business covers it. And then weigh up how many people you paint in that time, what you're going to be doing. Mate, it's going to be the summer, isn't it? So in the summer, what events you're going to be covering, how many people that you're going to come across because you can usually get that from event organisers, how many people are going to attend. So you can add all that up and say this is potentially what your brand is going to be exposed to. And then from that, look at sponsorship designs online and get a Canva account for free and make a sponsorship pack. And then I did cold emails to people. And then I also used LinkedIn. So I use LinkedIn for my normal like self anyway, but I also set up a Brushed Beauties LinkedIn and I use that to you can like link to your website on there, put articles up. And there's obviously a lot of corporate people on there holding corporate fun days or, you know, massive businesses, small businesses, and it's just being connected and pushing that. So LinkedIn is a really good one. And then Facebook.
LinkedIn is a really interesting one because I don't feel like it's used at all in our industry, is it? And
No.
yeah, because when I started the business, I set one up and had a little look on there, and there's like hardly anybody on there. So I've never bothered using it, but it links in really well with points that Juliet Eve made when I was chatting to her. She was saying about networking in your local area and going to business networking events. And that's the similar idea is that you can then network with other businesses in your area. I don't know
Yeah.
why I've never thought of this before.
Yeah. Yeah, LinkedIn's a really good one, especially if you've got personal LinkedIn as well. And maybe for those people that were like, I'm in a corporate job in the week. Luckily, my work are really cool about me having the business. I actually just painted for their fun day today. So, you know, they're like totally open to it. So when I share stuff about the face painting, it gets really good engagement from my work. And then the people that know them, and off the back of that, might come a party from someone who's got children, or it might a corporate booking. So yeah, if you're looking for more corporate jobs or you're looking for businesses to work with or a sponsorship, I think LinkedIn's an untouched thing by face painters that actually it can really work to your advantage.
Do you get a lot of corporate bookings or do you try and steer more towards birthday parties?
I like doing both. I like corporate bookings. If they're local ones, it's good because you get birthday parties off the back of it. If they're not local,
Yeah.
you know that nothing's going to really come of it unless another corporate booking is. But if I do them, I like to stay local because I know that I'll probably get other stuff off of it. And they're obviously only once a year. And corporate bookings are less loyal as well. They just need someone to fill a gap. They need someone to face paint. It doesn't matter. Some will stay loyal, but yeah, the most corporate bookings I've got through my website.
So, what avenue would you say has brought you the most paying customers then? Is it through your website, through social media posts? I know that you mentioned before when we were first speaking that you'd used local magazines to advertise with discount codes, which again is something that I don't feel like I've really ever seen in our industry. What would you say brings the most work in?
Definitely Facebook and word of mouth through Facebook and people just tagging you in posts. People are always looking for face painters on local community pages. So joining as many pages as you can and getting people to really like bang the drum of you. That is what's got me the most work. But I think like with me, the discount codes, I put them on things. They've never ever been used. I've never had someone quote a discount code, but I have had people book me because I think they
Mm.
forget. They just need someone for a service. So, like, yeah, I've gone to local, rather than like a whole town, there'll be like little bits, like communities in the town where they have their own little local papers where people actually do read them or magazines and stuff. And it's very cheap in comparison to how many bookings you would get off the back of that. And I'll do a custom code so I know it's come from them. So
Okay.
say it's called Lazy Town, for example, I would be like Lazy One. That would be the code. And then I would know that someone from that community has used that code, but they haven't. But it's just obviously it's exposure for that as well. And then if any community events happen, I've already gone into their magazine. So the people that are organising those community events remember me because I've advertised with them. I've spent a bit of money with them. So then they in turn spend a bit of money with me.
I like that. But it goes back to the business networking and working within the community, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I think community events are really important. I'm a big advocate of promoting within your own community and working within your own community, doing good for it.
What marketing mistakes do you see small creative businesses making over and over? So not just necessarily face painters, smaller businesses. Are there like any tips or any big no-nos?
I would say tone of voice is really important to me. I think I mentioned that earlier. Being really authentic and your true self on your social media, it comes across natural. And I am not a fan of using in a lot of posts because it just looks generic. Everyone has got the same like poster going out, or you can just tell when someone's run a post through AI. And I'm a fan of using it where it's necessary or like it work smarter, not harder. But I see so many face painters and small businesses post an AI poster, and you're like, another one. You know, it looks rubbish and it's spelt wrong. It's not even photos of their work. And so there's so many
And
talented
sometimes they
peop
miss like the main details off as well, don't they?
yeah, yeah. It's just yeah, it's not worth it. I think the integrity of your brand is like completely smashed when you use an AI poster or an AI video or something to promote yourself. And even really big businesses and big face painters use it. And I'm like, why? You're so talented. You don't need to be doing that.
Because I use, I loved using I can never say it, Chat
Yeah.
GPT. I feel like a nana. I like using it for proofreading, and I used it to make a lot of like templates for my emails so that when I get an
Yeah.
inquiry in, I can just pick the right template, fill in the missing bits. So it was great like that. And like you said, for working smarter, not harder. So it is good for a lot of the business admin side, I find. Yeah, I mean, I'm quite with my face painting stuff, I try and keep it on brand. And
Mhm.
so it wouldn't work if I ran it through ChatGPT because I've got all my
Yeah.
Canva templates set up.
That's
So I just
exactly
throw
it.
everything in. So it's for me, it's not helpful for that side of things. But
Yeah.
I mean, you see, they're just getting lost at the moment, aren't they? Because there's so many very similar looking posters that are
Yeah.
coming up for like village family event days or community
Yeah.
fairs, and it's a shame because they're just not standing out.
No,
So,
and I think that's the worst bit about it. You do get lost in it. Yeah, the community fairs one. I think it's a lack of like knowledge for those people who are running them. They don't have a lot of time,
mm,
and then they put them out, and it's just AI rubbish. But for creative people, you don't have to know how to use a computer. You don't have to know how to use really complex programs. Canva is free. I'll keep pushing that, and I'm like trained in like
yeah.
all of the creative programs and I use Canva because it's quick, it's easy, and the free version has got plenty of stuff on there. You can save your templates. So every time you do a post, all you need to do is just pop your images into it and it's done. And then
Well,
use
I
AI.
even pay for the premium one because it's only
Yeah.
like £11 a month. That's a business expense. It goes
Yeah.
through my business account, and it's just brilliant.
Yeah.
I've been using it. way longer than I've been face painting, but it was a revelation to me using Canva. The first time I did like a document or something on Canva, I was like, why has this never existed before? Why have I been
Yeah.
using Word and like, God, it just seems archaic now. Yeah, Canva was so easy to use and so simple
Mhm.
to pick up that I use it for everything. And I also love the fact that if you're doing something on the computer and you walk away, you can pick it straight up on your phone or on another computer. So if I've had to log in, sort of like my in-laws' house or something, I can just put in my details and all of my stuff's just there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it
again, this
saves,
is really
doesn't it?
obvious
So
to most people, but at the time I was like, this is amazing.
yeah, no, it's so good. I really love it. In my day job, I do a lot of videos, like videoing, and for the really like simple ones, I guess, I use Canva to edit the videos, and they come out the
Mm.
same as if I was to use one of the like big editing softwares and it's
I used
quicker.
it to edit my wedding videos as
Oh,
well.
really? Yeah,
I was delighted with myself for that.
love that.
Yeah, we filmed, we gave out a load of like handheld old school camcorders
Oh,
and
that's
had
so
loads of
cool.
people just doing random footage and then just pieced it all together.
Oh, that's so
But it
cute.
was,
Love that
yeah, it
idea.
was really good. It was like really like old school, like a 90s vibe. But
Oh, that's
yeah, I
so
edited it
cool.
all on Canva.
Perfect.
So
See, £13 or £11, whatever it is a month, is just so
yeah.
worth it. And no AI. Yeah, it does have AI functions within it, but I just think it's so obvious when you haven't used AI now and it's just more
Mm.
authentic. I stop scrolling when I like don't see AI. I'm like, "Oh, it's not AI."
It does, it just makes you stand out now. And I think when they first came out, because it's only literally been a few months that these posters have been popping up, and when they first came out, they did
Mm.
look really cool because and I bet
Yeah,
people were thinking like, "Oh, this looks like I've had a design like, I'd never been able to put this together on Word or something." But the
yeah.
problem is then ChatGPT just kept churning that same out,
Well,
and
it's
then they all
learning from
just looked the same.
itself. Like, that's what's happening with AI now is learning from AI. It's not picking up, it's basically AI is stolen work, but now it's stealing from itself. So it's learning from the rubbish that it was doing and it's making more rubbish.
Yeah, just saturating everything with the same fonts. There's
Yeah.
such a distinctive font, isn't it, that they use on the
Yeah,
posters.
it is.
So if a face painter only had a really tiny marketing budget because very early on in the business or times are hard because the living crisis at the moment is an absolute joke. I've just been away with the kids for a week. Nice little sidebar here. And
Mhm.
oh my God, the cost of everything is disgusting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if funds are running tight, where would you tell them to spend their money first for marketing or branding or advertising?
If they've already got a few jobs under their belts and they can do a bit of like cold outreach themselves, I would say don't spend it on ads. I spent it on ads once and I did book a couple of parties from it on Facebook, but I think I spent 30 quid, which was obviously
Mm.
really worth it, but haven't spent anything since then. And that gave me the initial boost I think I needed on Facebook for people to be exposed to the brand. But I would say spend a branded t shirt on a branded jumper, something like that, that you can wear. So people, and you can wear it out to shopping, you can wear it to the cinema, you can wear it wherever you go, pick up the kids from school, wear your branded t shirt because
Mm.
people will see it and they'll go, that's a face painter. I need a face painter for my party. So something physical that you can take
That's
with
true.
you. I would say business cards as well. It's a bit old school, but at every single event or birthday party I go to, someone goes, "Have you got a card?" And I'll go,
Yeah.
and I have, but I've left them in the van. So yeah, I'll go get them from the van. But every single time, without fail, someone will ask me for a card. So I saw a face painter. I can't remember who it is, so I'm so sorry. I can't quote them, but she got little mirrors and she put her logo on the mirror and she gives that out to every
That's
child.
cute.
And I was like, that is a banging idea. So I did the same. I bought some mirrors, I put my little circle on there, and the kids are looking at it, and the logo is in front of their face, and the parents are seeing it, and they're walking around with it. And then the kid will
Mm.
keep that probably for a couple of days and lose it. So that and a business card and a little pouch, that goes with every kid.
Do you know what I do? I don't think I've shared this before. I don't think I've got any around here. Um, so I give out with every face, I give out a tiny little organza bag.
Yeah.
And inside the bag has got my business card, which is just my logo on the front. On the back, it's got all my details and also how you remove your face paint.
Great idea.
Yeah. And do you know what? I really want to find one. Really annoying me now. And they're floating everywhere in the house because my kids get hold of them. But I also enclose like one of those little makeup remover pads. You know, the
Yeah,
ones that you just put water on and it all comes off.
yeah,
Um, oh, I can't find them. They're all downstairs. Anyway, I don't give them out when I do sort of like corporate work or festivals that I'm not going to get any bookings from
yeah,
these. Like if they're over an hour away, then I'm not going to want to go there for a birthday party. But usually every birthday party I do, I give them out because it feels sort of like a little party favour. And I always
yeah,
say, right, this is a little gift for you. And they're excited because it's a sparkly bag or it's got like moons and stars on it, or they get to pick the colour bag. And then I'm like, so that means you can take it off yourself in the bath later. Like, mummy won't have to
yeah,
scrub your
nice.
face. And they're like, oh, that makes me a big boy and a big girl. Obviously, it's got all the information of how to remove it as well in there, all of my details, but they're more likely to keep hold of my business card because it's in a little bag.
Yeah,
And
no,
because the bags are tiny and like little like starry organza ones, I always say, and keep hold of the bag for when the tooth fairy comes because then you can put your tooth in it and put it under the pillow.
cute. Nice,
And so
multifunctional. Love that.
I know. And people remember it because they're always like, oh, yeah, oh, I've got my little
Yeah,
bag from last time, or this, that,
yeah.
or I've got a wobbly tooth, the tooth fairy will be coming soon, sort of thing. So it opens up that sort of conversation as well. So,
Oh,
but
that's
yeah,
really
it's like
cute. I think,
it's like the
yeah,
mirror thing.
being remembered. That's it. You're
Yeah.
being remembered for what you do. And I think, like with the mirrors and stuff, I give them out when I'm doing paper face, and it's also a little
Mm,
bit of like added value, isn't it? Like they've paid a
yeah.
fiver to get their face painted, they get a little mirror with a sticker and a business card and stuff. Like it's added value.
And they're just less
Definitely.
likely to throw it away. I know, like you can put like if you do a birthday party, you can put your cards in the party bags at the end. But I'm a
Yeah,
mum. That all goes in the
yeah,
bin.
yeah.
I'm telling you
Exactly,
now. Once they've
exactly.
mauled the cake in the car and blown the plastic whistle and driven me up the wall, the whole
Yeah,
bag goes in the bin.
yeah.
So, yeah. I mean,
Anything that you can be remembered
some
by.
mums might be better than I am and actually have a look what's in the bag.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not a mum and I wouldn't. So, yeah, no, that's a really good idea.
But
I've
yeah.
seen there's a local magician and he gives out certificates at the end.
Oh,
So
cute.
he'll have a
Nice.
certificate where they can colour it in, and it has his name, his like a QR code to a website and things. And the kids love it because they're like, "Oh my gosh, got my name on it!" And then they give it to their parents. Their parents are like, "Oh, that's the guy," and he's been doing it for like 30
Mm.
years or whatever. So it's obviously working
And they'll
for
want
him.
to put the certificate up on the fridge or up on the board at home or whatever, won't they? So they won't
Yeah,
let it just go straight in the rubbish bin.
yeah, exactly.
So you mentioned that to me before in your day job that you've worked with sort of podcast sponsorships before and branded partnerships. So what would make a sponsorship actually worth doing for a face painter? Because obviously things have got to be mutually beneficial. So I'm assuming people don't want to just sponsor you for a little bit of advertising. Do you ever have to do anything in return? Like, what am I trying to say?
Do you mean like in return, in say a business sponsored me, they have a family fun day, they want me to go and paint for free, that sort of
Yes.
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't done that. I have offered it. I
Mm,
have offered it before, but haven't really found that. I think the, going to so many events is what sold it. I think that's
mm.
what you need. Like you should sell it as is that you're going to all these events, you're exposed to the community. That's enough for the sponsorship. And it doesn't necessarily have to be one sponsor. If someone doesn't want to outlay that cost all up front, you could get a couple of sponsors to make the blow a bit softer. Yeah, and then I would just say on branded materials, you could have some flyers made and it could have their brand on it. So that's a bit of extra added value for them. But you could offer to do, if they have any events, you could offer to do it at a discounted rate. I wouldn't necessarily say do it for free because I think you'd like undervaluing your services. They're
Yeah.
getting enough out the gazebo. You've got to work hard when you're under that gazebo. So maybe you could offer it at half price or something like that, or have a code for their employees.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because then, like you
Something.
said, most people will just forget to use the code anyway. I always forget to
Yeah.
use my codes. The amount of discount codes I've got, being a member of this, that, and the other, and I never use them.
Yeah.
I always think, oh,
Exactly.
that's a good idea. And then I always forget.
Yeah, and people might still, if you did a special code for the employees, they might forget the code, but they still would remember to book you because
Yeah.
you're sponsored by their company. So win-win, you're getting the sponsorship, I mean, you're getting birthday party bookings.
So if you're a smaller business, then how could you make yourself attractive to potential sponsors? So like I said, I'm still currently working out if I'm going to do bigger events or festivals or if I'm going to stick to smaller events.
Mhm.
How could I make them want to sponsor me if I'm not going out and doing big events?
I would still class myself as a really small face painter. So I think what I've done worked, and it was a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. So it's still like pretty early in my journey. I was only like a year and a half in, but I just happened to get nice big bookings and I thought this is going to be worth it for a sponsor. But I think there needs to be proof in the pudding for you to be able to do it. I don't think you can go to someone and say, "Can you sponsor me for this amount?" and you've got nothing to show for it. So I think you need to put the legwork in first in getting
Yeah.
into events, but that could be local community events where you're offering paper face, because I'm a fan of doing paper face. I think that sort of thing is worth it. And as long as you can show that you're working for it and you're going to these things, it doesn't matter how small you are. Small face painters have got some really big jobs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it doesn't matter what the size of your business, your following is, because
Mm.
your followers, all of your followers are not necessarily the people that are going to turn up and see your branding or your sponsorships, things like that. So yeah, just the proof of what you're doing for it doesn't relate to what you've got going on.
What do you wish that more face painters understood about running a business and not just the artistic side, sort of the business side?
Yeah. So I think people or face painters should focus on catering to their customers and posting for their potential new customers and not focusing on posting for other face painters. I post for people I want to hire me, people who are going to spend with me, and not people who are competition or other face painters. I think
Mm.
it's nice to put up like a post every now and again, like the funny videos that you see. I've done a couple of them and I'd like posting those, but you'll never find me posting about other face painters or why you shouldn't hire them and you should hire me, because I'm not interested in what everyone else is doing. I'm interested in what I've got to offer. I'm not interested in why a face painter whose hygiene isn't that great is not the person to hire, because I'm just going to tell you that my hygiene is great. I'm going to tell you that my branding is good, that I have got insurance and I'm DBS checked. I don't care what other people are doing, because they're
Mm.
not hiring them, they're hiring me.
So
Yeah.
cater your social media to your target audience.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think
Yeah.
you cater it to who you want to hire you. Other face painters are never going to hire you. Yeah, they might ask you to work with them or under their
Mm.
branding, but ultimately, you want to keep getting hired by people for birthday parties, for corporate events. And if someone comes onto your page who's not heard of you before and they're just looking for someone for a job and they see you going, don't hire these people. This is what a bad face painter looks like. Because I saw a post like that and it really annoyed me. And I was like, that isn't a bad face painter. That's an uneducated face painter. Do better in
Mm.
educating them to be better and don't just slag them off. There's no point, because that's hurting your business more than it's hurting
Yeah.
them. It really does. I think it hurts people's reputation. And if I saw that as a corporate client, I'd be like, oh no, I don't want them. I'm going to go to the next one.
So I interviewed Days Livingstone probably a couple of months now. This
Yeah.
year has just flown by.
Yeah.
But she was saying something similar in that she now has a social media page for her business, and that's where
Yes.
she'll post purely stuff to promote her business. But then she's also got her personal branded page, which has got, I think, even more followers. But that gives her a bit more freedom about what she wants to post, because her clients, if they're looking to book her for a job, would go to her business page. But then on her
Yeah.
page, she can do some tutorials or she can cater to a wider audience almost. But yeah, she keeps her business page sort of specifically for face painting.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea. If you want to talk to face painters, if you want to do tutorials and focus on that purely, I think one every now and again is not bad. It's showing your
Mm.
skill set on yourself as well. But I think if you want to talk to face painters, if you want to post about what is good and what isn't, I genuinely think probably 80% of the public don't care because they're in a rush when they book us. They genuinely are. Most conversations I have are very, very short. They're either going to hire me
Mm.
or they're not. And I would say 90% of people that inquire hire me, if not higher. And I think it's because I answer the question that they need. I post the pictures that they want to see. I'm not catering to face painters. I don't,
Mm.
it's nice to have more followers because face painters are following me, but I don't care because they're never going to hire me.
Yeah. I don't get a lot of bookings through my Instagram anyway. I get most of my bookings through my Google page and my website.
Yeah.
because, and then most of my followers on my Instagram page, client wise, because like my Instagram's not very big or anything, and this on my business page and on my sponge page, they follow me after they've booked me.
Yes.
And then it sort of serves as a reminder to them, like, oh yeah, well, we know who she is, like, and they sort of like keep on top of it then. But I don't think they really book me, because normally I wouldn't really be in their algorithms because they're living their own lives, and they're
Exactly.
booking a birthday party. It's like when I was booking all the stuff for my wedding, my
Yeah.
algorithm was feeding me wedding dresses and hen party things and do this and do that and flowers. I got married last year, and now my algorithm's moved on to my next hobby.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
keeps telling me
exactly.
that I need some new makeup or a new cream for my hands or whatever. So
Yeah.
they're only really going to be interested in booking you when they've got an event coming up,
Yeah,
right?
and that's it, and you're never gonna really show up again for them unless it's something
Mm,
they're actively looking for. So I think that show your best self when someone first looks at your social media. If you go and take a look and pretend you're an outside person, what is your social media saying? What is your website saying? What is your Google page saying? Because Google's really
mm.
important as well.
Yeah, I was surprised with the Google. I think I get most of my things from Google because I did this. I put my head in, right. If I was booking, well, I did this to be fair. It's half the reason I got into face painting is, how old's my daughter now? I don't know. I've got so many kids, I can't remember. No, it's, I'm joking. It's about 3 years ago, and we were planning her birthday party, her big 5 birthday party where she invites everybody in the class. And I was like, oh, I love face painting. I know I won't be able to do all the kids there because I'm hosting a party and I was only like dabbling and playing. So I just typed face painter near me into Google, and I just sent an inquiry off to the first 2 or 3 people that popped up on the
Yeah,
Google pages. And then when they came back to say how much they charged, I was like, excuse me?
love some of that.
And now, I know. I was like, now, had I not already just paid £500 for the princesses to come because she couldn't decide which princess she wanted 3, and that's what she got her heart set on, then I
Nice.
would have probably got a face painter as well. But I was like, okay, I've got to rein this in. This is costing an obscene amount of money now.
Yeah.
But it did make me think that, well, there's obviously a market for it if people are able to charge that much.
Mm,
So that then lurked in the back of my mind for a bit. And then when an
yeah.
opportunity sort of came up, I just thought, oh, I'm going to go for it.
I
And
love
here we
that.
are.
I
Here
think
we are.
that's a similar story to a lot of face painters who are mums. They've seen that and they've
Mm,
gone, "Well, I'm artistic, I'm talented in that
mm,
area. Let me give it a go." I've met a few people that have had a similar thing where they've hired a face painter and they've gone, "Blimey, I could make that money as well." And they have,
yeah.
and I think that's great. Mums inspiring mums. Love that. Love
Well,
that.
it's
Whereas
it's
mine
it's
was
so
just
flexible as well.
yeah,
Like, it means I can do, like, yesterday, I had a party booking yesterday from 3 till 5 p.m., which meant I got to spend all day with the kids and then popped out between 3 or 5. It was a birthday party in the next village. Robbie, my husband, was doing the barbecue. Got home, barbecue's ready. I was just like, that
ideal.
for me was a perfect day. Like, and I keep I get excited and I'm like, I want to do all the big festivals. I want to do this and this. And this is why I'm trying to tell myself I've got time.
Yeah,
I'm going to find my groove. I'm going to find my flow. At the moment, my kids are still 5, 6, and 7. So they're still really little. And I don't want to be working all day at a festival at the
yeah,
moment. Not every weekend. I don't mind doing a few. But that's why the birthday party worked really well, and that's why I started doing this, because it meant I didn't have to give up an entire day of the weekend.
yeah,
So, yeah, this is just my internal, you know what it's like, just internally, my head is constantly, it's like the ADHD, like racing round, like, "Oh, I could be doing this, and I could be doing this, and I could do," and I get all these ideas, then I'm like, "Hang on, give it 5 years, the kids aren't gonna really wanna spend any time with me."
yeah,
They're gonna be sulking in their bedrooms, and then I can
yeah.
go off, and then I've got time.
Yeah,
So
it's not a dying art, more people
yeah.
are doing it, and festivals and big events will always happen while there are humans
Mm,
on the planet. So, there's time. I think I had someone reach out the other day, no idea who this lady was. She asked me about face paint and how I got into it and what products and things like that, and there's a lot of face painters that would really gatekeep and be like, "Well, I'm not gonna
mm.
speak to this person," but I thought, "Oh, no, do you know what? I'll just speak to her," and she was like, "Oh, I'm a new mum," and I was like, "Be prepared to sacrifice your weekends." because
Yeah.
it is a sacrifice to be away from, I haven't got any children, but to be away from your children, 2 hours is nice. But if you want to do the big events, like you say, you're sacrificing the whole day and then you're knackered when
Yeah.
you get home. So I think the sacrifice can be worth it. It's worth it for me because I have nothing to do on
Mm.
the weekends. And if my husband's away, I'm sad at home eating and watching Netflix. So it's worth it for me. But I
Yeah.
think also if you're looking to get into face painting, look at what you want to do as well. If you want to stick with the birthday parties, you can cater your branding around that. You're the birthday party face painter. But if you want to
Mhm.
do the corporate events, you want to do the long festivals, you could cater your branding around that as well.
If you could give one brutally practical piece of advice, business-wise, to a newer face painter, what would it be?
It would be focus on your own business, and other face painters that are in your business are clearly not doing well in their own, because there are too many face painters that have opinions of others. And I think, why are you not focusing on your own business? If you're a new face painter, reach out to other people. You're going to find a mixed bag of people, because I certainly did when I first started. I didn't know any face painters. I knew a couple of really, really nice ones that I would say have like joined me on my journey. And then I found out about a group and I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't know people could be so mean about people they didn't know. I think there are so many lovely ones and then so many not so lovely ones that can be in your business. And you're like, why? What have I ever done? And why are you not focusing on your own? So I think stay in your own, you'll do well. Manifest your own. I'm a big believer in manifestation. So yeah, I stay in my own business. I don't get involved in other people's. And the people that I have met and kept along the way are really nice ones that have lifted me up. And there are
I
plenty
think
out there.
it's like that in sort of, I suppose, any avenue of life is you've got to find your people.
Yes.
And like I said, I keep getting excited and thinking, well, maybe I should be doing this, maybe I should be doing that. And I'm feel quite proud of myself recently because I'm bringing it back to, oh, what was my goal? Why did I set up my business? Obviously to earn money, but I
Yeah.
set up my business because before then I was doing gardening at the weekends because I still have I've had to scale them back, but I
Yeah.
still do some of my gardening clients during the week.
Hmm.
But before, especially last year when it was wedding year, I was working 7 days a week. I was working 12 hours gardening all day on a Saturday and a Sunday. I
Oh,
wasn't
wow.
seeing the kids. Or if I was doing a 9 till 4 shift instead of the 12 hours in the summer time, if I was doing like a shorter time, by the time I get home, I'm physically exhausted. I'm
Hmm.
covered in mud. I'm having to get a bath. So I'm saying to the kids, just give me 10 minutes. I've got to get the thorns out of my fingers and I've got to
Yeah.
get the mud off. And then I sit on the sofa and fall asleep. And I was
Yeah.
just like, I'm not seeing them. I'm not present when I'm here because I'm exhausted. And then I learned that, okay, instead of that, don't get me wrong, it was hard work getting the business up and running and stuff, but I can
Mhm.
do 2 hours face painting and earn the same as what I did doing 6 or 7 hours of gardening. And
Yeah.
that's what I have to keep reminding myself. You get sucked into what everyone else is doing in the industry and how their businesses are performing and what gigs they're going to. And I have to keep saying, no, I'm okay. As long as I've
Yeah.
got my bookings booked, I want time with my kids and
Exactly.
I've got time. And
Yeah.
that's my business and that's how I'm doing it for me. And it
Yeah.
seems to be working okay. I mean,
Love
I'm happy.
that.
And then I decided to start a podcast. So just
Oh,
because
and the
of
podcast
all
is
of the free
fabulous.
time, all of the free time that I've got,
Oh,
but
I
I
know. I
love the
think it's,
podcast. I love talking to other people. I've learned so much just from
yeah.
chatting to people.
I love watching it. I think this is a great way for face painters to be with other face painters and not put that on their social media or their websites or
Mm,
anything. This is a way for them to learn to, validate the way that they feel about things. There might be people that disagree with me saying, stay out of people's business. It's none of your own. Don't post things about other people's hygiene, about the other way that they work, about newbie face painters. But there might be a lot of people that agree with that. And this is a great way for them to sort of have their feelings validated, have the way that they work validated without it pouring into their business.
And I think it's hard with social media when things are written down. It's really easy to misinterpret or to take things very personally. Like, we're all adults. We can all talk. We can just
Yeah.
talk and have a
Yeah.
respectful conversation. So well, I'm loving doing the podcast because, like I
Oh,
said,
I love that.
I've learned so much. I'm the lucky one. I get to ask all the questions.
Yeah, I can take all the notes. Love that.
I know.
Yeah, it's
I'm
such a
like
good idea.
I'm like a sponge myself, like
Yeah.
stealing everybody's knowledge.
I think that's a great way to be, though. I think as a face painter, you should be like a sponge because there are so many talented people out there that are willing to share their talents and willing to teach. And there's so many people willing to learn. I think
Mm,
that you're only going to elevate your business by working with other face painters and not seeing it as, oh, they're going to steal business from me. They're cheaper than me. They're more expensive than me. No, just learn and be a sponge and
mhm.
walk away knowing that you've met nice people and you've been nice to someone and it's going to work in your favor because they'll remember you. And then when they go, oh, I've got a job and I can't do it. Oh, I know someone. Rather than going, oh,
Yeah.
never give a job to them. I've got there's a few face painters that I have made friends with, and we've got this lovely little system of sharing jobs. So none
Mm.
of us are without a job on a weekend now because we've got each other covered. And there's
But I
no,
think for the industry it works as well, because I've had a few recently where people have come somewhat last minute. I mean, like 2 or 3 weeks before the event and said like, "Oh, can we book you for this?" And I've said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm fully booked." And the first time it happened, they said, "Oh, I don't suppose you know anybody else, do you?" And I was like, "No, because I don't. I'd only been doing it myself a couple of months." I thought, "No, I don't know
yeah,
anybody." But now when I go back and say, "I'm so sorry, I'm booked," I'll often say like, "You could try this person though, or you could try this person in our area in case they're
yeah,
free." And just by offering that out, I mean, I've lost the work anyway because I can't physically do it. So it's no loss to me. And then, yeah, and then what goes around comes around. Hopefully one day they'll
it does.
recommend me if they're booked. So,
Yeah, I've had that quite a few times where I can't do it, and I'll say, "I really hope I can join you next year." And then they've booked me next year.
mm,
I'm like, "I can't believe they come back." And it's just
yeah,
being a nice person to your customers and to your colleagues, to your competition. Just be nice. It costs nothing, and it will make you so much money.
right. Let's round off the episode with a quick fire round,
Yeah.
which is, I keep saying it's a new thing I'm doing, but I think I've done it the
Okay.
last 4 or 5 times. So by the time this goes out, the listeners will be like, well, it's not that new anymore.
I'm gonna be rubbish at this. I'm rubbish at it.
It's fine. Just first thing that pops into your head. Okay.
Okay.
So we start with an easy one, which is tea or coffee.
Tea.
Favorite paint brand.
Probably Superstar now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Least favorite design to paint.
Probably Sonic the
I've only
Hedgehog.
done Sonic once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I took him off. Did I take him off my board? I took him off my board because I was like, "I just hate doing this guy. I'm not doing it anymore."
I hate him.
Yeah, I don't wanna do it. Don't ask me.
Fastest design that you could paint nearly with your eyes shut.
Unicorn or Spider-Man.
What's a design that somehow always takes longer than it should?
Probably, like, any sort of, like, flower crown or something like that just because 'cause I'm never done with adding detail, and then I'm like, "Do you want glitter?" "Yes."
One more swirly bit.
"Yes." "Do you have another swirly bit?" "That's fine."
What's your dream event booking?
The F1. Love the F1. Big,
Ooh.
big fan, and it's down the road, and I'm manifesting it. Not for this year because it's my niece's birthday party, and if I cancel on her, there will be no more me. So, yeah,
What's your biggest business win so far?
I think the same as earlier, the Women's Rugby World Cup in terms of bookings, but the repeat bookings, people wanted me to come back. That's my biggest win.
Instagram, Facebook, or word of mouth?
Word of mouth.
What's one marketing hill that you will die on?
Market to your customers and not to face painters.
And what's your one top tip for someone starting out?
Be authentic. It will sell you 1,000 times better than running it through any AI or pretending to be someone that you're not. It will sell yourself as you are.
And that's the end. So you did amazing. Thank you so much.
You're
And
welcome. Thank you for having
yeah,
me.
good luck with everything in the future.
Thank you. You too.
That's it for today's episode of Sponge Stories. If you found this helpful or it made you think, oh, thank God it's not just me, I'd love for you to share it with another face painter who needs to hear it. Don't forget to follow or subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. There's plenty more real talk and a bit more waffle coming your way. And if you've got a story, a question, or you'd even like to come on the podcast, you can email me at hello@spongecommunity.co.uk or send us a DM over on Instagram, Sponge Stories.